All right, so let me show you how to spot the biggest levels of Edward Bernays style propaganda you have ever seen when it comes to gaming on Linux, right? So back in December 6th, Respawn Entertainment, they posted a nice little graph for your entertainment purposes only. And we're going to go over this in just a second, but they go on to say we wanted to give a quick update to our Play Apex anti-cheat efforts since blocking access from Linux, right? And they're talking about the infection rate and how they've seen a huge drop off, but they're not telling you that there's a big uptick. But here's a kicker. This was back in October 28th of last year. And, you know, they failed to show you the rest of this right before this. But it's always been like an uphill battle, like a give and take cat and mouse kind of game with cheaters. And they want to convince you that they've seen a 33% drop in cheaters ever since they removed support for Linux. But this is easily debunked, and I'll tell you how. I mean, anybody can do this. So you go to steampower.com, right? And then you go to store, you go to stats, right? And then you scroll down and you go to Steam hardware and software survey. And right here, Steam, actually, Valve gives you a whole plethora of information that you can be easily accessed by anyone. You can do this on a browser, or you can do this on your actual Steam client. I'm on Linux, by the way. All right. And so let me show you how they want to convince us that this here was caused by a 33% active users on Linux, when that's nearly impossible, because the majority of users on Steam is all Windows. You have Windows 11, 7, you have Mac OS, I don't know how, but it's only 2% Linux users on Steam. And that is thanks to the Steam Deck. But you can go actually even further. You go under DX Systems, so you click for more info, right? And this goes back from January of 2025, and then you go December, November, October, September. But when you go to October here, you see that Windows 11 has 50.51% market share, and then it goes to Windows 10, which is not going to be supported at the end of this year, but that is a 49.12%. And then you have Windows 7, God bless these guys, right, with a 0.32%. And then you have other, which is also mixed in with Mac OS. So you have Linux and Mac OS mixed in October. It's 0.08%, but they're telling you that this is a 33% infection rate, right? So let me actually go even further here. This is one of the comments from Gaming on Linux on Reddit. And this guy puts it so well. And he says, what people don't realize is that cheaters weren't using Linux. They were exploiting the loopholes built into the anti-cheat solution to allow Linux to work. So basically what the people that are selling these like cheat programs, they were programming the cheat program they were developing the cheat program to actually hook onto Proton and making the anti-cheat believe that they were using Linux when in actuality they were on Windows. So this is just, you know, business as usual. This is propaganda 101. Most cheaters are so lazy they'd never even consider swapping to Linux. The problem is cheat developers could just trick the game into thinking it is running under Proton, and the anti-cheat becomes laughably easy to bypass because it is limited to running in user space. It's not the devs hating on Linux or anything. It's just business as usual. I mean, that's all it is, man. So, you know, you can have EA talk all the shit they want and saying, oh, you know, we're not going to support games on Linux because they're infected with cheaters. And so you saw they removed not only Apex Legends, but pretty soon it's going to be Battlefield 1, if not already. And then that's just the way it is. You know, I wouldn't even be surprised if these developers are getting like nice little sweet deals from just making sure that everything just runs on Windows. So listen, 33%, you see an uptick here, right? Oh, I thought you guys got rid of Linux cheaters. It's just they have sorry ass anti-cheat to begin with. This is all going to come to an end when Valve comes to the table and talks to these developers and says, listen, if you want our games if you want your games to be on Steam, you have to actually, you know, cater to all of our customers, and the Steam Deck is there for a reason. So, you know, Until then, I just won't play your game.
And he says, okay.
Mr. Check the Gate, can you please install Windows?
I said, no.